Guys, and thank you for tuning back into my channel. I am doing a new segment of my YouTube channel aside from hair and makeup, which is going to be called Mimi Talks. And today for my first video I will be talking about birth control and the Nexplanon implant. I'm going to give you a quick backstory about it, about why I decided to use this form of birth control. I started using birth control back in 2011, and I decided to actually use it because of my period and the cramps that I would get during my period. I had intensely painful cramps. I could not describe it. It was just something that I would even wish on my worst enemy, honestly. And my period was very heavy, so I decided to use the birth control pills because my school at the time was starting to form their clinic inside of the school, and they were giving out birth control, obviously for people who wanted to use them. So I went ahead, I did my own research. I also spoke to the nurse in the school who was also a doctor, and I spoke to her about the birth control, and she told me that, for someone my age and someone who has never been using hormones at this kind of level, the pills would be my best method. So I actually stopped using the pills in January 2015, this year, and I stopped using it because I got out of high school 2 years ago, and my pharmacy would not give me the prescription at the right time. So I would go a week or so without any pills. Now that's wrong. If you are using the pills, you would know. But if you don't know, that whenever you use any form of birth control, as soon as you stop using it or as soon as you take it out, your body is going to start going back into its regular routine. So if you go a week without using birth control, something that you were using for a whole month, your body has already started to go back into its routine, and that's not good because it's almost like you're restarting every single time. And it was doing more harm than good to my body. So I spoke to my OBGYN and I let them know that I wanted to stop using the pills. And he said, okay, because you can't go a day without using them because you have to go to a whole new pack. And me going a week was even worse. So I gave myself some time to actually just see how my period would come back, if it was regular or not, and it did come back pretty rapidly, regularly, around the same time every month for 6 days, and it was moderate, just a regular amount, TMI, but it was pretty good. I didn't have any cramps still, which was honestly the best part. So now the reason why I've decided to use the Nexplanon. Planon? The reason why I decided to go with the implant, which is also another way you can call it, is because me and my boyfriend now, we were talking about certain methods for birth control. And personally, I love him and I'm in love with him, but God forbid something happens, I am not ready to have a child. I am in college. I am looking to get my master's. I still have, a couple of more years to go, and I'm not going to, be stopped from reaching that goal. So, we both decided that using this implant would be a good idea. It lasts up to 3 years, which is amazing. By the time I finish, it will be 2018, and I'll be well old enough, ready, probably even married, so I'll be fine by then. Now to the fun part, I guess, the implant. I went to my OBGYN and I asked him what are the different methods that I can use, because I initially wanted to use the patch because I didn't want to use anything that was daily, because I did not like that. So I wanted to try something that was maybe not so often, and I heard the patch was weekly, so I felt like that was a better alternative. I don't like needles. I don't do injections. I don't like people cutting me. So, me using the implant was not in my head at all. I did not want to do it. I went to my OBGYN and we spoke about different birth control options. And if you don't know, for those of you who are watching my channel, there are a few different birth control options. There is abstinence, which is you don't have sex at all. There is the diaphragm, the ring, the patch, the pills, the shot, tying your tubes, which is a little far-fetched, the IUD. There's two types. There's one with copper, and then there's the one with hormones, and then the implant. The last three that I just mentioned, the implant, IUD, and tying your tubes, are by far the most effective birth control, obviously, against abstinence. But obviously, if you're looking into birth control, most of the time you might be doing abstinence or following that, but most of the time people are sexually active. So I spoke to him about it, and he told me that personally he feels like the implant would be my best choice. So I literally sat in there with him for about an hour. We spoke about the implant and how does it work, how do they insert it, and just really everything. I was bombarding him with questions because I don't like needles, so I had to know how the hell were they going to get that inside of me. So I asked him all the questions that I needed to. I was satisfied with each answer and perfectly fine. I felt very confident in doing it. He then told me about a clinic for women and in general, called Planned Parenthood. Now, I live in New York City, so there is one in each borough. I went to the one in Queens because I live in Queens, and it was honestly really the best experience I've ever had at a clinic, and it was my first clinic experience. So, yeah. You walk in, you get, greeted by a receptionist, and then literally within seconds, I had to take a pregnancy test. I was negative, of course, which is why I'm talking about this. And we went ahead and they asked me to read a bunch of papers that talked about the implant, talked about the side effects, talked about really everything, and was just letting me know that I knew what I was getting myself into, basically. And to really just sign off on them continuing it. So went about, signed off on all the papers. They asked, a few more questions, are you in a healthy relationship, etc., etc. And it was time to go and do it. Now, it really wasn't the worst experience ever. It was damn near painless. And I say that because there were some points of pain involved, but that was literally before and after the implant was put in. So I'm going to now show you the Band-Aid. I can't show you the implant, but this is the Band-Aid that's actually covering my implant. I got my implant, was it yesterday? What's today? I got my implant a couple of days ago, and so you're supposed to leave this Band-Aid in for 5 days after you get the implant. And I'm supposed to take it out in a couple of days from now. So what basically happened is that I was laid down on a chair, and I had to hold my arm just like this, as if I'm sleeping. And they numbed it with an injection. They numbed the area. I don't know if you can see this dot, but there was like 2 dots that, this is where, from here to here is where she's supposed to cut. It wasn't that bad. Gave me the numbing cream. And I felt the shot, and the shot had a little bit of a burning sensation, but that was literally the only pain. And then I was so into the conversation that I was having with the doctor. All of a sudden, she's like walking away, and I'm like, "Where are you going?" She's like, "Oh, I'm done." And I'm like, "Wow, seriously?" She's like, "Yeah, I've been done. I was just cleaning you up." I was like, "Wow." So quick. I didn't look at it because I didn't want to. But it was honestly very quick. Like I said, the only time that I felt pain was when I got the shot. She did warn me that there would be a burning sensation after, and literally after, because they had the rubber band tying on my arm, and as she was taking it off, it got attached to my skin. Honestly, that was the only part that hurt. Literally, it was so quick, so painless, and it was easy. I then left. They gave me a bunch of papers letting me know what I'm supposed to do after. Now, I can't wash it. It's basically like a cast. I'm supposed to treat it like a cast. You can't shower. You can't have the shower, the water hitting directly on it. It's supposed to cover with something plastic. Can't rub it too hard or do anything that would cause me to like use excessive force on this arm. I am a righty, so they put it on my left arm. I don't really use that arm that much. But that was basically it. It was honestly very painless and quick. Lasted maybe 5 minutes, maybe even less. The only reason why it took so long was because of all the questions and the tests. But other than that, it was a very, very, very quick procedure. I have not received any, side effects just yet. Mind you, I've had it for a couple of days now, so I wouldn't expect side effects so quickly. I was warned that I would get irregular bleeding and spotting for at least 6 months, so I did buy, like a whole box of panty liners just in case, to always have with me, because they did say, make sure that you always have liners with you. I am prepared for that. I don't think that would change the fact that, this is something that I want, because it lasts for 3 years. I think that's amazing. I get to live my life and be in a relationship and, do all the things that I want to do without having to worry about if and or, what. And I feel like it's a really good alternative for anybody who's looking into birth control. Maybe not something that you would want to do if it's your first time, personally, because I have been using, birth control before, so I feel like the side effects won't hit me as harshly, I should say. But like, again, everybody's body is different, so I might have some side effects this time. I'm hoping I don't, but who knows. After that, that's basically it. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact your doctor. If you are old enough to go to an OBGYN, or you have a doctor where you talk about your sexual activities with, or anybody that you're really close to that is a professional, please speak with them and ask them about the birth control options that you do have. And also, if you're uncomfortable with speaking with them, please feel free to comment down below. Ask me a question. I will be leaving my Instagram, so if you guys do want to DM me, obviously it will be private. I won't tell anybody your business, but you say to me stays with me. I do volunteer and work at a hospital, so I am around doctors all the time, so I do know, the facts. I'm not saying I know what they know, but I have educated myself in all the birth control methods and knowing their side effects and whatnot. So if you have any comments, questions, concerns about how it works or what's going to happen, please feel free to ask, really. I will be doing updates from now to about 6 months just on the birth control implant itself, because it was told to me that my body should be changing from now to 6 months. It usually takes around 6 months for my body to adjust to the birth control. So I will be giving you guys updates anytime something different happens. My next video will be of me removing the band-aid. I won't show you guys. Maybe. If you guys want to. Just let me know if you guys want that gruesomeness. But I will be letting you guys know if my periods have gotten lighter, or if I have any bruising. Obviously you will be able to see it, or anything that you guys might want to know before you actually go ahead and do this yourself. So that's basically it. Thank you again for tuning into my channel, and wait for some more videos. Bye!